You're nearing the end of your career, and the investing approach that got you here is about to start working against you. You need to shift your approach, but you're not sure how. We see 3 mistakes people commonly make with their investments in the critical years leading up to retirement. Got that and more coming up. Here's why this matters right now. The decisions that you make in the last few years of your career carry more weight than anything you did, let's say, in your 30s. There's less time to recover from a mistake right now, and there's a lot more money on the table. So I'm going to walk you through 3 specific mistakes I see people make near the end of their working career with their investments. Number 1 has to do with a Roth IRA and why most people wrongly assume they're past the point of using one. Number 2 is about how you put money to work when you only have a few years left to do it. And then number 3 is the one almost everybody overlooks. And it's not about how you invest at all. It's about how you're going to get the money out. We'll get to that one at the very end. The 3 investment mistakes that we see commonly made near the end of a career. Number 1 is not funding the Roth IRA in the final couple of years. And I get it. You might be at a stage in your kind of earning power where you're making too much to fund a Roth IRA, but I actually see a lot more people shunning or avoiding the Roth IRA at the end of their career simply because they think it's too late for them to take advantage of this crucial and critical tax shelter. Instead, they say, you know what? I want to build up cash. I'm going to build up cash, and instead I'll max out my contribution to my 401k, but any extra cash I'm going to put in the bank account. Now, don't get me wrong. That does build tax diversification, right? You want to have choice when you get into retirement to determine, well, as I'm drawing dollars out, what's my tax picture look like this year? What are my withdrawal needs? How many of those one-time expenses I have come up? Should I take money from my pre-tax account where it's taxable this year? Should I take money from my Roth and give up the ability for those dollars to grow tax-free for the rest of my life? Or should I take dollars from my cash or from my non-retirement accounts where maybe I pay a little bit of tax if there's capital gain, but otherwise they're tax-free? You want to have that choice. You want to have tax diversification. And so on one hand, I get that. And if you don't have tax diversification, then near the end of your career, you got to start building that in. However, the choice of saying, you know what? I just want this money safe and in cash. So instead of putting it in my Roth, I'm just going to throw it in my bank account. You are actually deciding to pay more tax on those dollars than you otherwise would. Why? Because how you choose to invest those dollars is not the same as where you decide to put them. Think about it. If you say, I don't want to take any risk with these dollars, I'm just going to put them in this interest-bearing account. If you do that in your savings account, then the interest that you're getting, 3.5%, 4%, again, not going to make you rich, but that interest is going to land on your tax return each and every year. But if you say, you know what, these dollars, I'm wanting to have a little bit more safe, I might be using them in the short term, putting them in the Roth and then still putting it in a CD or a high yield money market inside your Roth, all of that gain is not only tax sheltered, meaning it doesn't land on your tax return. When you withdraw the dollars, it's not taxed at all. It's tax free. So there are reasons, tax diversification reasons, to not have that money go into the Roth IRA. But guys, given the choice between, over here, right, it's going to be taxable, but I could put it in my Roth and have it be tax free. Don't make that mistake. Still harness the Roth IRA even at the end of your career. Mistake number 2 is having new investment dollars going into your 401k, not take advantage of dollar cost averaging. As you get closer to your retirement, nearing the end of your career, it's very, very easy for people to say, you know what, stock market's getting a little bit risky and pretty soon I'm going to need these dollars. And therefore, for the money that I'm contributing into my 401k, I'm going to start contributing more and more conservatively. Or maybe we see a short-term blip in the stock market, which is not a bug, it's a feature. Now, I don't like it. You don't like it. It never feels fun. It feels especially terrible when you're in retirement, by the way, or you're near retirement, because it feels like every contribution you're making to your 401k, say you contributed 10 grand the first 8 months of this year, and if we see a downturn in the stock market, that 10 grand, your portfolio can drop by 10 grand very, very quickly. It's going to feel like, oh, I just put 10 grand away and I lost it all. It's going to feel like, well, I just went to the casino and I lost. No, it's not true. You are buying shares. To avoid or to kind of overcome those emotions, many people, again, in the final stages of their career, they say, no, new money, I'm gonna have be sort of more safe, okay? I'm not gonna invest in the market. That's the opposite of what you'd want to do. This is your last great buying opportunity. And if we actually do see that somewhat normal, but a disappointing downturn in the stock market, if you continue to invest your 401k contributions right up to the end of your career in a more growth-oriented mix, then you're able to buy more shares as those share prices actually fall, allowing you to take advantage, maybe for the last time, of dollar cost averaging. You know that phrase that allows you to, on average, if you're investing a certain dollar amount on a periodic basis, every paycheck, every 2 weeks or every month or however frequently you get paid, that same dollar amount, if shares go down, right? If shares go down, that same dollar amount can buy more shares, right? You're buying more shares at lower prices and it ends up working to your benefit, that dollar cost averaging. Use that. Don't make the investment mistake late in your career of saying, you know what, new dollars I'm going to have be invested very conservatively. No, still maintain your overall risk tolerance and appropriate for your goals, but have new dollars still be invested in growth-oriented investments so you can take advantage of dollar cost averaging. And then mistake number 3, investing mistake number 3 near the end of your career is failing to begin adjusting your overall investment allocation to fit your withdrawal income needs. This is something that many people, it catches them by surprise, off guard. Not that they're surprised, oh, I got to start withdrawing dollars, but they've just continued to approach their 401k and their investing the way they always have, what got them there. And then all of a sudden, again, maybe it's due to a market shakeup, or maybe this, what if this risk happens? All of a sudden, if they haven't started to approach their overall investment allocation systematically, we call it personal pension plan or kind of buckets of money approach, then all of a sudden that new event or that wave of fear, they go from one pendulum, from one side all the way to another. They swing to the other and say, oh my goodness, I shouldn't be taking this much risk. I'm going to make an enormous change. That risk can carve years off your portfolio longevity. It can be an enormous mistake. Therefore, in the years leading up to retirement, maybe a year, 2 years before, and certainly at retirement, you want to take a look at how much money you're going to be withdrawing from your portfolio. How are you going to be relying on your investment portfolio to supplement your Social Security and any other sources of income? How much will you be withdrawing? And you want to stratify your investment portfolio based on when you're going to need that money. Say, for example, you're going to be drawing out 50 grand a year from your investment portfolio. You should have, by the end of your career, the last couple of years before retirement, and certainly by retirement, you should have 2 to 3 years. So in this instance, maybe $100,000 and $150,000 in low risk investments, high yield money market or stable value, something like that. Something that if the stock market takes a bad turn right before you're about to make the biggest financial decision of your life, it doesn't derail your plan and you still have confidence in the face of that uncertainty. Then the next 3 to 7 years, so from years 3 to years 10, should begin being kind of building out that intermediate term bucket. That intermediate term sort of, hey, I'm still looking for these dollars to grow, but I want some downside protection. And that downside protection, we talk about it a lot on this channel, can come from hedging or it can come from higher yielding investments, more of a yield play. For those dollars, you're going to touch them within 10 years. That's enough time where you want to get some growth and some higher interest. At the same time, you want to have some downside protection. Stratifying that second bucket, your intermediate term bucket, that way, that's going to allow for 10 years of clarity of where income is going to come from in your portfolio, and that gives you the confidence. In the face of the uncertainty with the markets, hey, The rest of the money you're not going to touch for 10 plus years. That's your growth bucket. It's going to be there to help your portfolio continue to grow. That's the engine to fight inflation. Those dollars diversify for your own risk tolerance, right? And maybe use multiple strategies, but those dollars can go up and down with the overall market because you've got 10 years of income already built out in the first two. Guys, investing mistakes can cost you, right? Mistakes with your investment portfolio, that can cost you big time. And if you do it near the end of your career, make one of these crucial mistakes, not only can it cost you big time, it can create a lot of worry, a lot of angst, a lot of concern. And like I said, it can even cut years off of your portfolio longevity. Work with your certified financial planner. Avoid those 3 investing risks near the end of your career and many others. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.